Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to Ria Kujaribu's channel. And right now I'm going to talk about the visitor visa. We did it about over a year ago, and Alhamdulillah, it came through. Everything went well. And the visitor visa, there's different situations for the visitor visa, but the one that we were applying for was a family visit. And you have to understand that when you do a family visit, you have to show them that you're coming to visit, not to stay. Because they stress in the application that if you're doing a family visit, you shouldn't do a spouse visa while you're in the UK on a family visit. Otherwise, they'll automatically reject your application. Allahu A'lam, maybe if you speak to a solicitor, they could explain it clearer, or they could see if there's any way to go against that. But as far as we knew, that if you try to apply for a spouse visa using a visitor visa, it'll be rejected straight away. The only thing is that because of coronavirus, they gave an extension and they changed the rules last year. So as of now, the rules are always changing. So it's always good to check for the latest information. Because subhanAllah, today there's one rule, there might be a different rule next month. That's what was happening last year while we were applying for the spouse visa after we applied for the visitor visa. But the visitor visa, in normal circumstances, it doesn't allow you to go straight onto the spouse visa. So, of course, before you apply, you have to prepare all your documents. And for the documents, I'll show the wife's ones first. I'll talk about the wife's ones first. And this was after we got married. So we had a marriage certificate. And when we had our marriage certificate, we translated it into English by an official translator who's accepted by the UK government. And we had everything stamped to show that this is a real translation. And my wife, she works, so we got our work certificate, got that signed by her employer, just to show that she's got a full-time job. And we took a bank statement to show that she's actually being paid from workplace, and also to show that she has money in her bank account, enough to cater for the entire trip of the visit that she's going to take when she comes to the UK. So we had to have a work certificate, marriage certificate, and bank statements. The bank statement has to show that she has enough money to sustain herself for the time that she stays in the UK. And the family visit visa lasts for 6 months. It only allows you to stay for up to 6 months. So however long you stay, that's how long you have to show you have the money for. So if you're staying for 6 months, you have to show that you have enough money for 6 months of stay. And you work that out by looking at your individual circumstance, how long you're going to stay. And that has to show up on your bank account. And you include your husband's bank account, how much money he has, that gets put into the decision as well. So alongside those three, you also have to have a copy of your national ID and your passport. The passport is the one thing that it says that you have to give in order to give in the application. So all the other things, if you don't give it, you can still do your application, but if you don't give it, then they have reason to reject your application. Like, it just gives them reason to be suspicious. So the passport is the most important thing, of course. And then the last thing for the person coming from abroad is they should have a proof of address. Now this is either a deed to the house or some sort of agreement to say that you're staying in that house and you've got rights to a house, that you're not homeless, and that you're not struggling financially or in any other way in the country that you're staying in. The reason why is because if you're staying in a country and you're unable to support yourself financially, or you're struggling, or you don't have a place to stay, or for a case like if you're a refugee, then applying for a visitor visa will be very hard, because they'll look at the application and they'll assume that you're not going to want to go back to your country, which for a visitor visa, that's what you have to prove basically. But as a family visit, obviously eventually you want to stay with your spouse, so you will apply for a spouse visa eventually. But even then you still have to show that you are going to go back to your own country after the visitor visa is ended. That's just one of the things they look at. That's one of the criteria they use, how likely you are to overstay your visa. And for the UK side, so say for example your husband, he works somewhere, he'll need an employment letter and a contract to show that he's got money coming in. He'll have to have a bank statement with the money that he's getting from his work and with the amount that would be needed to pay for your stay in the UK. Also, what we did, we used our certificate of no impediment, and this is something that's not so important, but we just put it forward because it's just extra, you know, just to show that we applied legally. So we applied in a correct way in UK. So I went to my council and I told them that I'm getting married in Morocco, so that it means that this country has a registration of my marriage or my intention of marriage. So then after that, obviously I need my passport. The UK said you need a passport. On top of the passport, it's useful to show them your flight tickets, just to show that you've gone to go see your wife, because it's very suspicious. Imagine you're trying to apply for your wife to come over to visit you and you've never seen her before. You've not got no flight tickets, you've not got no visa stamps. These things they look for, you know, to show if it's a genuine relationship. And also for the husband or the UK side, you have to show proof of address, and this is done by having a deed to the house to show that you own the house, or to show a tenancy agreement to show that you're paying rent every month, so you're renting the house out. This way you can show to the immigration officers that you're not using government funding, because that's one of the things that they use as a criteria. When someone comes to visit, are they going to be using government funding, or are they going to be paying for their own trip? And this is not something that I'm saying, subhanAllah. This is just something that the government requires, you know, for you to show that you're here to visit and that you're not here to cheat anyone, subhanAllah. And another thing that I prefer to do with everything is to write an extra letter on a Microsoft Word document or on notes or wherever you want to write a letter, just to explain your situation, just to explain the reason for your trip. In that way it shows that this is something personal, that you're a real person that's applying, and that you're not trying to cheat them, and you're not someone that is being forced. Or you can explain like your situation, and then that way they're not going to think that you're being forced or that this is something that you're trying to cheat them in. So if you write in a letter of explanation for every step that you take in your application process, it'll help, inshallah. So I hope you can subscribe, because it's not so hard to subscribe, you know. All you do is just click the button and like the video, and it's all it is just one click on the like button. Okay, so thank you for watching. I hope this is of use to you. If you have any questions, please comment down below, and if I'm able to answer, I will answer. If I'm not, then I'm sorry. If you need any further information, just ask for that below as well, inshallah, and we'll see if we can get more information for this application video. So I hope you do well. Assalamu alaikum. Take care.